AskReddit. Employees of Build-A-Bear. What is the weirdest thing a customer has requested? Back in the earlier Build-A-Bear days, I was asked to put an urn that contained the ashes of their father who had recently passed from cancer into the bear. I didn't know what to say, and my manager was on break. They were really sweet, and I completed the task for them. Read Teddy, if I recall correctly. They also had previously recorded his voice, so that also went into the Teddy. 20 minutes later, when my manager returned, I informed her of what happened and how I handled it, and within the next few months we had a store policy of no deceased remains. Looking back on it, I'm happy I could do that for them. They even dressed it like him, and had planned to have it on the mantle for the family and grandchildren, to press the hand and hear him. I've worked for the company for almost 4 years. Overall the days follow the same routine of families come in with a budget and kids have fits when they want something outside of that budget. But I have certainly encountered some weirdos and just weird situations. Weirdest, mom wanted me to put a sack of her late daughter's baby teeth inside the bear with a recording of her voice. I feel like there's a lot of other sentimental items that could be kept with the bear other than teeth, but I guess everyone grieves in different ways. I worked there in high school about 10 years ago now. I guess the weirdest thing, but was very common, was putting dead relatives' recorded voices into stuffed animals. One was for a little girl whose father had died in Iraq. I was definitely crying while I sewed that bear up. Other than that, there were a few bronies that came in for Rainbow Dash. They were always very awkward but nice. Watching a teenage girl make a bear dressed like her boyfriend for her boyfriend while he was there. I have never seen someone try so hard to look interested, but failing. Teenage love, I guess. The weirdest thing is all the middle-aged women who come in every time somehow new is released. They collect them, but are always super weird people. Wasn't an employee, but I was there for this story. So I was there getting a Build-A-Bear for my friend for their birthday. I was going to make it full of inside jokes and a few light inappropriate jokes. In front of me was a guy with a bear that looked like he actually put some thought into it. I was standing behind him when he did his recording. He was nice and cool. Then he grabbed the mic. I thought he was going to say something nice because he told the guy working there that it was for his GF. Here's how this guy started his recording. Hey there you fat bees. I know you're ducking with Roberto, you ducking skank. You ducking cow. Keep in mind, he's screaming this in a store full of young children. The employee didn't stop him because I assume he was too scared that he would probably rip his throat out if he intervened. Parents scrambling to cover their kids' ears. The guy did this for I think a minute, but it felt like an eternity. After getting his voice box sewn into the bear, he practically skipped out of the store happy as a clam. I know why he did it. I'm sure he planned out a nice date with her, and then he would give her the bear and crush her world. But this guy was yelling at the top of his lungs. When I made a dirty joke I was at least quiet, so the kids behind me didn't hear. Everyone wanted to kill him, but they were also too scared to stop him. Not really weird, but everyone was speechless in that Build-A-Bear. My girlfriend and her grad school friends made a bear called Catastrophe Bear, and he said everything is awful. Being asked to repair a Smurfette because she was getting a little loose. Not an employee, but at the one in the mall near me the employees told me that a lady would come in with her pet monkey that she treated as her child. She used it as a clothing story for the monkey. She also tried to sue the local school district into letting the monkey attend but was unsuccessful. She's bananas. Not an employee, but a few years ago I went with my little sister to get some horse thing done, and we were waiting in line to do the heart thing, where you have to kiss it and promise to love the thing forever. The girl in front of us asked the lady doing the hearts if her bear was gay because it was rainbow. The employee looked a bit taken aback, but recovered and told her the bear could be gay if she wanted. And in the most lethal voice I have ever heard out of a small child she said, "If you give him a gay heart I'll rip it out myself and feed it to the wolves." Haunts me to this day. My mom and I are both adults and we both like stuffed animals. My mom wanted a lion from Build-A-Bear a long time ago, and the employee wouldn't let her finish making her look until she made a wish on the heart. The strangest request she probably ever got was, "Stop telling me to make a wish." I worked there for almost 5 years back in the early 2000s. Once there was a woman who came in with her son's monkey and asked for a hole to be stitched up. This was common, and we all knew how to do a basic ladder stitch, so my manager agreed to do it. When she took it in the back, she noticed that there were holes only in the crotch of the monkey and that the fur was matted. That's when she realized that this woman's son was probably masturbating into the doll. I don't remember if my manager put on gloves and stitched it or offered the woman a new doll, but that was by far the craziest request. I also once had to get into that bear costume after someone wore it for 2+ hours because a woman complained that her son wanted to meet the bear and we had packed up 10 minutes early. That sucked really bad. Not an employee, but one day at Build-A-Bear, my boyfriend found a voice box someone had already recorded that just said Bush did 9/11. Years later, Harold the bear is still with us, the voice of an unknown prophet still ringing out. Today some kid found a voice box that says Epstein didn't commit suicide. Not Build-A-Bear, but an independent store in a mall that did the same thing. A woman brought her young daughter in to celebrate the little girl's first communication with a spirit. She's become a seer like me. What the duck? A coworker used to work in a different store, and one day a person came in, picked a bear, and sort of faffed about a while before taking it to be stuffed. Coworker puts bear on the machine, hits the pedal, and is covered in a cloud of dust, along with the guest and the store. Turns out the person had poured their late partner's cremains inside the bear and not said anything. Tip: if you want to put ashes in a Build-A-Bear, get a little urn and put some ashes into that and put that in the bear. Loose ash equals bad. Back when I worked a few years ago, I had a customer come in holding a bag of what looked like at least 10 pacifiers. She spread the pacifiers throughout the inside of the bear and told her son that they were a big boy now and didn't need the pacifiers anymore, but he'll always be close to them as they are in the bear now. So I guess it wasn't so weird as it was sweet. Customer, not employee. Years ago I made a monkey one for my cousin that I put a noisemaker in the crotch that would laugh when you squeezed it. Got some really awkward looks from the employee helping me put it together. My grandma was definitely not amused when my cousin opened it in front of the whole family. Not an employee, but have a somewhat related story. I have extreme anxiety, but was determined to get my GF, now ex, a Build-A-Bear for Valentine's Day. I went to the shop and picked out everything for the bear, including the voice box which had I love you pre-recorded. Went to stuff the bear, and the woman, who was a very sweet old lady, wanted to see what I picked out for the voice, so she played it in a very busy shop. She played it once and said, "AWW I love it," and played it again, and again, and again, and again. By this time I had everyone in the shop looking at me wondering why someone keeps triggering the voice. Panic attack nearly set in at that moment. Just wanted to stuff that bear and get out. Asking me to make a hole between the legs so they can stick a dildo there. My friends and I, all 13, put money towards a $40 bear that said "End my suffering," and its name is Dan Easterfito. It is a pink teddy bear with a Luigi costume on. When we recorded the voice message, all of the employees were looking at us with this very uncomfortable look. It was awesome. Not me, but a coworker. We had a younger teen come in that got one of our troll dolls, and they made it very clear that they wanted the but to be as firm and prominent as possible. We just figured that they were, discovering new things in life. Hey, don't put in so much stuffing. I want to leave room for my flashlight. I don't work at Build-A-Bear, but I was given one as a birthday gift from two of my best friends. IDK how they explained it to the employees without getting arrested, but they named him "Don't Touch Me" there. I can't even imagine what the employees must have thought was going on.